Hi guys, this is another late night recording. Not that late. It's 1 a.m., which is not that big a deal. Like the loopy zone doesn't start for another couple hours. So sorry, you're not going to get my usual endless ramblings today. Sorry to disappoint. But anyway, this is won't get ramblings, but you'll get a lot of tongue twisting and pointless popping. Focus. I still am going to make this kind of short because I'm not going to, try to stay up and edit this because then I'll just end up like staring at the computer for hours on end or falling asleep with it on, which drains half the battery. I think I talked about that before. So yeah, my plan is I'm going to, try to get this done early enough that I can go to bed early enough that I can wake up early enough to get it done on time. Hee. Yeah. Anyway, so let's just get to a couple quick things. First, Mama Coyote said that hasn't been able to tag people in comments anymore. Yeah, I think that's just a YouTube change. I think they've gotten rid of that feature. I think might be because they've sort of updated the notifications so that you get notified every time somebody comments on a thread that you are in, instead of just people who are replying directly to you. So I think that is a decision that they made at a higher up level to just not bother with tagging anymore in comments. But apparently, that's not the only comment woes that people have, because I in my notifications for the videos it says that there are like more comments than there actually are. And, I'll look for them everywhere, and they're just not there. And sometimes I think YouTube just eats comments. Because I got one from, some kind of Rose. What was the name again? Winter Rose. Thank you. From Winter Rose on we got talking about, like, the different things, like spices and flavorings that people like and don't like. And, yeah, the Winter Rose commented on that thread, apparently, and it's not there. It never showed up there. Like, I didn't get there for a while, but that normally doesn't matter. Like, I often don't reply until the next day, and still, I can see it just fine. So, like, I looked everywhere for it. I looked, in the full comments, block, the page where you have all the tabs. I looked in the ones that say they're, for spam or for, review comments, and it's not there. There's just nothing there. So, Winter Rose, if you're watching this one, I'm sorry if you were hoping for me to get back to you. I promise I'm not ignoring you. YouTube just swallowed your comment. And then, Jex30 on the Alfredo episode, first says you're gonna have to watch it a couple of times to get it right. And yeah, that, I theoretically could have stretched it into a full episode, but I didn't really have enough of a narrative going to make a full episode out of it. All I really had was the chopping of the basil and the garlic. Like, the garlic is the stuff that, I mentioned that I have garlic that was sprouting, and, I just show myself cutting off the sprouting tips, and that's really all that happens. So there's not enough interesting stuff to fill up a full episode, so I just have to really shave it down finely, like I'm chopping vegetables. Hee. Ain't I clever? Anyway, yeah, I just had to, trim it down as far as I possibly could, just so to get it down to that 30 seconds. And, I'm getting a little more lenient with the times, but I'd still like to keep that to, that 30, like, sometimes I have to, like, stretch to get to 30 seconds, other times I have to squeeze to get it down into 30 seconds, so, I'm still, I'll see if I'm not sure if I'm gonna loosen that up to be, under a minute would be a good one, or maybe, 40 seconds would be okay. Excuse me. But, play it by ear. The 30 seconds seems good for now. Anyway, also applauds my use of Gorgonzola. Well, no real need for applause there, because it's, I mentioned this in my reply directly to you. There was no real intention behind that. I was just like, oh yeah, we have it was another, I think it might have been another time we did a cheese night. Not sure, but, because again, that was like a year ago now that I recorded that. That's another thing I haven't mentioned. That footage from the Gorgonzola and the mushroom, the Gorgonzola was one of the earliest ones that I actually recorded. Because it's, I started this in April, and that footage is from May. So that's one of the early ones. In fact, in some of the, I went through the footage that I hadn't seen in a while and discovered that I actually hadn't figured out my camera setup yet. Like I was still trying to hold my computer and try to stir and add things at the same time, and it just didn't work out. By the time I got to the mushroom one, I had figured out that I could set up my stand right next to the stove. It's over here. And that would let me get the shot I wanted. But yeah, I was still figuring it out when I recorded that. But anyway, point being, I really, I didn't plan for the Gorgonzola. I just sort of did it because it was there. Then mentioning that your son sort of is like way into Alfredo, like downs it in large quantities, and yeah, this is a good solution for that. You just make a big old pot of it, and so you'll have plenty of it on hand for whenever he gets a craving for it. And you mentioned like jarred Alfredo, and honestly, I personally just don't. I can't handle jar Alfredo. Like it's gross. It's just gross to me. Like, no offense to you or your son, but I just can't stand it. It's just like the stuff that's in the fridge, like in that little plastic tub, that is okay for me. But the stuff that's in the jar, I don't know what the difference is. I don't know what sort of ingredients are different from the ones in the fridge, or what part of the canning, jarring process that makes it worse somehow. But I actually get a little bit queasy when I try to eat the stuff from a jar. It's just not fun for me. Just eat whatever you like to eat. I'm not sitting here in judgment. I'm just letting you know I'm not a fan of the jar stuff. And that's really it. There was other stuff that we talked about, but that's, more stuff that we talked about in the comments, and not really much of it would lead into a, small ramble like these ones do. So I think that about does it. Got it done in under 10 minutes. Awesome. So thanks as always for watching. Go try some of my recipes. If they're good, tell me how much you like them. If they suck, tell me how to fix them. You know how YouTube works. Do all the things. And I'll see you in the kitchen.